Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the In Wheel Time program. It's the car show that you've always wanted and is now here.
Like it or not.
And now you may not want it ever again. But welcome to the
We
In
are
Wheel.
good.
Yeah, we're live, we're weekly, and somehow, some way, we twisted somebody's arm and got an award. We don't know for what, but we got an award. It's
right.
a car talk show. That's what we are. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars there, and King Conrad over there, I'm Don Armstrong over here. Thank you very much for joining us today. So, joining us now from City Classic Cars Restomod Builder Shop is Sabra Johnson. Sabra, thank you so much for joining us and bailing us out of this mess that we've gotten ourselves into.
Oh, thank you for having me. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's staying safe and all that kind of good stuff. How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing good, and how about you? You're looking healthy there, and we really appreciate you joining us today. We're looking forward to a tour of City Classic Cars.
Oh, man, we're excited always to hang out with you guys, some real car guys that, I mean, you guys get it inside and out, all makes and models from the old school to the new school.
Well,
So
because
you
we
guys
are
the
old
real
school.
deal.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
are that. And speaking of old school,
Yeah.
what is that you've got sitting in front of you? It looks like a small block Chevy, eh? Nope.
This right here is a 302 Ford Mustang engine going
Missed it
into
by
a
that
64 and a half Mustang.
Yeah, he doesn't understand what the exhaust manifold of a small block Chevy would look like. But
No,
that's
it's
okay.
I just realized the plugs, and never mind.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not.
It's a hard room. It's a hard room.
Maybe you saw this one. This is a small block Chevy over here.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I was talking about.
That's the one. That's it.
The one that's not on the
He
screen.
smelled that one back hanging out there. He smelled that one hanging out back there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one you were talking about.
That's it. In fact, Carol was talking about that, too, and we were talking the other day.
Yeah. This car here is one that we're excited about, and if y'all give me a few minutes to talk about it, but when I build cars, I'm building somebody else's dream. It's my dream to help you build your dream. But this is somebody's dream. The Rossi family, he wanted a Restomod 1967 Camaro. And so this is his dream. And it's pro touring, makes me smile. So it has that restoration feel to it where if you look at it, it looks like 67 now. I mean, it's not crazy. It looks like 67. But when you look at that stance, and I know you guys know cars, you look at that stance, something's going on the backside. You look up here at this stance, something's going on. And so it's just a real cool car. And if you get a quick glimpse of what's going on in the interior, you can also see that the interior is a little bit different there. So I love building cars. I love building Restomods, which is restoration, modification, coming together. I know some guys don't like that, but I believe that's where it's going, and that's where everything is headed. If you take a tour of SEMA, any recent shows, this is what you're going to see. It's all about Restomods, and then even at a greater degree, it's all about the pro touring. So I love it, and the way I build them, I like to keep the body lines and all of that true. So that's my restoration ode to the car. I try to keep the architectural, the aesthetics of it. I try to keep it like it was in whatever year I'm building. In this case, 1967.
Well,
But,
I have to tell you that's my style right there, and I love actually that silver and red. I love the red stripe on it. It really classy looking. I don't like to jack like you. I don't like jacking with the bodies. I mean, it was cool then. It's cool now. Don't mess with that. Now, what do you do for wheels? Are you into the mindset of bigger is better for wheels?
No, I work at the pleasure of the client, so I have to, I give my expertise, my opinion, but at the end of the day, it's their car.
Well,
So,
what is your opinion on wheels?
I think 18s and 20s are enough. You go past 20, maybe 22s in some situations, but if I have my choice, I want 18s and 20s. I think it gives you a better ride. It's the best rideability. But I also think 15s and 16s are too small when you start talking about muscle cars. You start talking about performance. But I think 18 to 20 is where you want to be. I like to stagger them. I like to have 8.5s on the front, at least 10s on the back, width wise. So I like to have them staggered.
So
and that's what we have here.
So on that Camaro, I mean the wheel wells are full. It looks like maybe you've got it lowered down a little bit. So is that like an 18 or a 20-inch wheel?
Yeah. We got 20s on the front and 20s on the back on this one. That's what he wanted. But we, of course, we had to tub the back, and we got a 10-inch tire on the back, and we got an 8.5 on the front.
Okay.
But we got Detroit Speed technology, upper lower control arms, top and bottom control arms, as well as the coilover. So this car is ready to ride. It's going to keep the ride height, things of that nature is going to be true. We're putting out the power. We use a Fab 9. We always use the Ford 9-inch on the back. Most drag guys or race guys or performance guys, probably about 98% of them are going to use that Ford product. So we're always using them in our cars. We just use a Fab 9.
What's underneath the hood of that car?
Say that again now?
What's underneath the hood of that car?
All right, underneath that car, you like it, man, because it's pretty basic in my sense of it. And I'll get up and look. But there's a lot of ways you can do it. And sometimes guys go, and I do too. Sometimes I go too far over the top. I'll have a custom cover over it. It'll be an LS3 in here. And when you open the 67, it looks nothing like a 67. What I love about this car is we wanted to show the plumbing. We did hide some things, but our goal was not to hide. We wanted it to look like a 60s, 70s era car where you could see the plumbing. You knew everything was there. If you wanted to work on it, it was easy to get to. So we're struggling to find that symbiotic balance between modernization of this engine compartment, but just keeping it really classic, really true, really old school. So even though this is a fast fuel injection system, if you look at it quick, it just looks like a carburetor.
Right.
It has an air cleaner on there. So, if someone's looking quick, it just looks like a carburetor. And serpentine systems on the Chevys have been around since the early 90s. So this is an old product that's been around for a while, even though this is the latest March system for this engine. But so it's just I think he has here a really, really good balance.
I do too.
And, I think it'd make the purist in you smile a little bit.
it looks quite streetable because it's got a monster radiator in it. You can see it also has air conditioning. So this is something that's going to could theoretically be a daily driver, though you wouldn't drive it daily. But it's going to be something that he's going to be able to take long distances on car cruises and stuff.
Yeah, this guy's out of Argentina. He has a heck of a lot of cars, more than I could ever think to own. But we wanted to put the fuel injection. We would have went with a carburetor. But the fact that he's only driving the car maybe every 6 months, every 4 months, we thought he needed that reliability. So therefore, we put that fuel injection in there. But this is a driver. And I also like the 383 strokers. But the 350 is the workhorse of the Chevy performance line. They don't break down. This was making about 360 pounds of torque, about 315 horsepower. Now, the 383s I do with the same block, they make about 100 more in each category. However, this engine here is far more reliable than, say, a 383 Stroker. So, yeah, I would drive this car every day of the week. I mean, it would be a treat to drive, you know what I mean?
And I think it would attract a little bit of attention.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere you went.
Yeah, that would be the bad part of trying to drive a car. Trying to drive the car every day. This really started off as my 67. So it was an SS 67, and it was I think it was gold and black with a rally stripe on it. And this guy flew in from Argentina and said he wanted me to build him a car. I said, "What do you want?" And he didn't know. I said, "What? You have a car?" He didn't have a car. I said, "Well, I got a few over there." He saw my 67, and it wasn't anything like this, and but we were gonna build it for me. And he said, "I like that 67." I said, "All right, let's do it." And so this is we have maybe 15 or 20 man hours left in it, just to kind of tighten up a few things. But and we're taking this car to SEMA. This is gonna be one of our battle cars. Another time we'll come back again and we'll talk about that 67 Chevelle. If this is a Restomod, the 72 Chevelle is what we call Pro Touring. And but I like this car. I like the Restomods because they're not. The Pro Touring goes too far over the top for some people. It competes with the Ferrari and the Lamborghini and all of that kind of stuff. The Porsches. This car is just a 67 that maybe competes with the 2020 Camaro. So it stays true to who it is in itself. It's not trying to compete with a Ferrari or anything like that. It's not trying to be a world-class global car. It's just trying to be a re-envisioned Camaro with some of this modern technology while keeping the car looking period specific. And,
Sabra, so
yeah,
I have to ask you, do you do paint and interior as well there at City Classic?
Yeah, you know, I'm kind of weird like that, man. A lot of guys sub out. There are two systems most builders, I don't care who they are, they sub out two areas. They sub out the paint and body, and most of them sub out the interior. And my approach is I want to build the best car I can build, meaning I want to control the whole process. So maybe I'm a control freak, but I want to paint the car at my shop. I want to rub the car. I want to do the metal work, the body work, the paint work. I want to do all of that at my shop. I want to know how much time we got in it. I want to know the products we're using. I want to know what's happening on this car every day. So I'm doing the paint work, the interior work, the engine work, the chassis work. I'm doing all the electrical work. I'm doing this car never left my property. It was already on my property when the client came. It's never left. It hasn't gone anywhere. And I take a little pride in that. And so we push hard. When we compete with guys on the international stage, like we'll do with this car in SEMA, I look at them all and I say, hey, I built all mine, but
build it all. Well, let me ask you a question. I was going to ask you a while ago, but do you know, after you get through with the car at SEMA, is this car going to stay here, or is it going to end up back in Argentina? Or do you know?
Originally, I think this car was headed to Argentina, and I don't know too much about the political landscape, but I think something changed as far as bringing cars in over there with the new administration. So I think this car is going to stay in Houston, Texas.
Nice. Maybe we'll get to see it.
In the background, shaking her head. So I think it stays here in Houston, Texas. So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We'll be able to see it from time to time.
Yeah, see it out on some of the cruise ins.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he'd probably take it. Yeah, pretty cool car.
So what else have you got working there in the shop, Sabra?
Another car we got working, I'll show you a little peep of it.
I love this tour thing. I do. Okay.
All right, so this one here.
Oh, the camera's got to catch up to him.
This one here, now this one here is a little bit more flashy, a little bit more. I'm not saying it's a nicer car, a better car. It's just a different car. You know, it's a say a BMW better than a Ferrari. They're just two different cars.
Right.
250 better than a Honda. They're different cars. So this is designed to compete on a global stage against pro touring cars. And so that means everything about this car, if we were manufacturing this brand new, that means that this car could compete with a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 car on the road. So that's the Ferraris, the Porsches. Not that Porsche goes up that high, but you know what I mean. This is the global creme de la creme of cars. So this car is being fitted with an LS9. And so we're talking about lots of power there. And when we get finished with it all, it's going to probably make about 800, 900 horses. And so this is one that we're excited about. And you can look at the interior a little bit. You can see when you start doing pro touring, you want to do buckets. So it's going to be 4 buckets. But in this case, we incorporated his original back seat. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a custom console coming down where you can see that opening there. It's going to come all the way down to the front. And so his car's going to have 4 buckets in it. It's LS9. It's all black. And then these tires and rims, Clyde picked these out. But these, you can see a little dust on them. But these tires and rims are probably, I don't know, they're probably $13,000, $14,000.
Oh my God!
yeah, right. I'm buy me a pickup truck.
Exactly,
dude.
It's just different. And so from that perspective, this car, everything about this car has to have a consideration, from the tires to the rims to the suspension. Again, we got Fab 9 on the back. We got 373 gears, but we got true track differential. And so you know what that means when you get this car on a curve, both wheels aren't going to turn. One wheel is going to turn, the other wheel is going to follow. You get in the other turn, one wheel is going to follow, one wheel is going to turn. So it's going to have all the latest technology on here. It's going to be a really beautiful car. The sound system is going to be custom. You know, it's not going to boom, but it's going to be crisp and clear. It's all going to be hidden. Of course, we're using American, all the best products, Vintage Air, American Auto Wire, Classic Instruments, PPG paint. Pretty excited about this client's dream. His dream was, hey, I want the baddest Chevelle on the planet. I want it to compete with anyone. So it's a 72. This one is owned by the artist family. And so I'm excited for this to build his dream car. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I don't care if it's a Bonneville. I don't care if it's a Honda, a Datsun, a bicycle. My job is to build your dream, man.
Hey, where is your shop?
We're in Spring, Texas, 16548 Stubner Airline Road.
I know where Stubner Airline Road is.
Right across from Klein High School.
Right across from Klein High School's football stadium, almost at the corner of Louetta and Stubner Airline, right there by the big HEB. But we have a facility there. We have 4 main buildings. But we do fabrication and body and paint in one of those large sections.
So next time I come through that intersection, I'm going to start right over there in your parking lot, and I'm going to give it a great, big, huge burnout, and you'll know who it is. Is that okay?
Hey, man, I'm all for it. Don't let the police get you.
Sabra, we love you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. We really appreciate it. It's always great to talk to you.
I thank you guys always for thinking about me, giving me a call. You don't have to do it. I just want you to know I really do appreciate it.
Well,
thank you guys so much.
We love you. You take care of yourself.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk soon.
Yes.
That's Sabra Johnson with City Classic Cars. He's the Restomod builder shop guy up there on the north side of town, and you need to check him out. And thank you for joining us today here on the In Wheel Time program and Time Now.